Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we practice conditioning our minds to find value where there's fear and to be cautious where there's greed. If you find any of what I say in today's video to be helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. We're going to take a quick look at the stock market. Let's start off with the S&P 500. Um, Recently, we were in overbought territory on the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, as of July. We're still above the median, which is 50. We're still above. Um, but here, I have on the MACD the 200 day. Anytime we hit the 200 day or go below it, looks like a good time to buy. We can go all the way back to the great financial crisis when we got below it. Great time to buy for long term value. That's what we look for. Me personally, it is a stock, or our stock's double tapping on the lower oversold end of the RSI. And is it below the 200-day MA? That's a really easy way to go if you want. And let's go over to the VIX. So the VIX. Anytime the VIX spikes, right now we're very low. Let's change this. Let's pull up the indicator. Let's do a Darvis box indicator. So right now we're oversold as far as the Darvis box is concerned, but the VIX is the volatility of the markets. And right now, the volatility is low. But when we go 30 or higher, that tends to signal market bottoms. April 2020, market bottom. September 2011, that was a bottom. November 08, that's when we were at the bottom of the great financial crisis. December 02. So let's remember these numbers. December 02, November 08, October of 11. We already know the COVID one. Here's COVID, March of 2020. Where was 11? October of 11, that's when we had that dip here. December of 08, that's when we were dipped here. 02, October 02, that's when we were dipped here. So you can use the VIX when we have those big spikes to find greater value. Anything above 30 might not be the worst time to buy. Let's take a look at some other factors here. One thing I do want to look at, unemployment rate. Unemployment rate's curling up. We are outside of our Darvis box. Now, usually the Darvis box is a little thinner. COVID is kind of an anomaly. So let's change the indicators here. Let's take a look at this one. We're getting a buy indicator on unemployment going up. Last time we got buys down here, sells up here. Now it did have a sell here and we went further. And so there's a little bit of a battle there. But we are getting a buy signal. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a sell signal, something to consider. I am seeing this on multiple indicators. The 10-20 MA crossover with the Heikin-Ashi signals. You look for the green dots and the red dots. So here you can see the green dot, buy, we went up, red, went down. Green and red, we've been accumulating, most recently a green. Maybe it's time to go up. Let's take a look at a couple of our biggest stocks out there. So Apple is the biggest stock in the world. It has a market cap of $3 trillion. And I like to have the 200 MA indicator out here. It is looking overbought for me personally. I like it to be closer to the oversold region. But if you take a look here, anytime, and we did the 5-year, anytime Apple gets near that 200 day, it's a good time to buy. If you want to keep your life simple, when the RSI is low and when it's close to the 200 MA, that's a good time to buy. Or if it got below, like you're looking at 2008, Apple at 3.5. Right now it's at 190. 190 divided by 3.5. What is that, like 70x profits? So $1,000 would have become $70,000 from 15 years ago. It's pretty good. Let's take a look at Amazon. Now Amazon, it's below that. Recently in 22, I thought Amazon was a good strong buy. Right now, we're hovering at that line. I do like Amazon long term as a stock. For me, one thing I consider whether or not I buy a stock, I don't just buy what the top ones are, but is the stock, is it something you use? Is the stock something you like? And then you take a look at the charts. What are the charts showing? Is the stock within 10% of a yearly low? That could be a good time to dollar cost average or DCA into the stock anytime it's within 10% of, or maybe 20% of a yearly low. But I try to think, is this company going to be around in 20 years? I could see Amazon being around in 20 years. Has a 1.5 trillion market cap. Maybe as wages catch up with inflation, who's to say it can't have a $3 trillion market cap and then you could double your money. But who knows? If we have a recession coming around the corner, from the dip of or from right now, recent market tops, maybe we have to wait 5 years for the next top. You never know. Let's take a look at Tesla. I'm going to try to keep these videos under 10 minutes. Tesla, so I am not a buyer of Tesla. If you are, good for you. Tesla has a market cap of dang near 800 billion. Okay. And, most recently, when it was down here, this is, 2019, you could see Tesla was at like 15 to 20, so it was a tenth of what it was now. Or you could say, yeah, you could say like, I guess a tenth of what it was now. Maybe even 15 times lower. That's when it was closer to the market cap of Ford. Ford, one of the oldest, biggest vehicle companies in the world. And I know Tesla's different. But look at the market cap for Ford, 40 billion. 40 billion. And I'm not saying that means Ford's going to go up. Ford's one of those stocks. I mean, look at this thing. The '08 was brutal. But Ford's at a level that it was back in 1994. But I'm just saying that's why I personally stay away from Ford. Nvidia, a lot of people talk about this being a stock of the future with AI, microchips, and it had a good earnings report today. I did buy Nvidia in October of 22 as it hit this and went below the 200-day. And, AI, people are talking about AI microchips being the future. And so I thought that was a good buy, and I've done very well with my Nvidia buy. But right now it's looking overbought, especially in the RSI. If we go down to the 1 year, we're still overbought. Not saying Nvidia can't go to 600, but who knows? Maybe if we got a recession, Nvidia might go lower. We can take a look at Meta. Meta looking kind of similar. This is another one I bought in October of 22. So I didn't quite time the bottom. I think I was around here. But Meta's done very well for me. I thought I got it at I know I did not get it at below 90, but I was somewhere in here. But Meta and Nvidia have done well for me. And one thing, so 865, $66 billion market cap. One thing I liked about Meta is when it was going down, people are talking about its revenue being lower, and that's something for you guys to look at when you're considering stocks. What are their earnings like? Their revenue compared to expenditures. Do your own research. Take a look at all that stuff. What is that like? And Meta was spending a lot of money on research and development for the future, and that wasn't going to be the norm for long. So I thought, now is a good value opportunity to buy for Meta, and for my risk tolerance, I could see them being around in 5-10 years. I mean, they've already lasted this long, and they're doing more than just Facebook. But anyways, if there's any stocks you want me to take a look at in my next video, please comment below. Or if there's any trading strategies you use that you want my opinion on. I try to have an objective outlook, and I try to remove my bias as much as possible. But one of my goals for this channel is to create a community where we share knowledge together for the low mid-risk, long-term investor, or people looking to dip their toes into investing in stocks or crypto on their own. So, with that being said, none of what I say is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I am not even a trader. I don't do options, short, long the market. Um, Sorry about my dog. Everything that I say is just my opinion. And I try to use my knowledge and experience from the masters I have in a field of psychology that I've used for a long time. I try to use that to my advantage to look for opportunities, find value where there's fear, and to be cautious where there's greed. And so we're going to look at macroeconomic conditions together and try to grow a community together. And if you found this video to be helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. And I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Thanksgiving week. Take care.